Hello, Senator.
Jeff, thank you
Yeah.
for having me with you today.
Well, it's a pleasure, and I'm here to just brief you on what we're doing with Alzheimer's. First of all, I want to thank you for your outstanding support of our activities over the last 10 years. Your leadership in the Congressional Task Force on Alzheimer's and your sponsorship of the National Alzheimer's Project Act and your multiple activities that have supported the Cure Alzheimer's Fund. We honor you for that.
Thank you so much. My mother passed away from Alzheimer's. Everyone who has an Alzheimer's patient in their family knows how profound that is. And I've been working since she passed away in 1998 towards raising awareness here in the United States Congress. I created the Alzheimer's Task Force back then. But ultimately, our goal has to be to find the cure for Alzheimer's. And so thank you for all of the work you've done in creating an environment where the cure for Alzheimer's is now something that is increasingly on the minds of every American.
Yes, it's also getting closer and closer. Our focus has been on one thing, to find a cure, because that's the core problem. And so over the last 10 years, we've been very successful in bringing this research to the point where we're really on the verge of moving to a new stage.
Well, I think that our goal should be, and you're the leaders in this, is that we reach a day where children have to turn to the history books to find that there ever was such a disease as Alzheimer's. And we can do it.
Yep.
If we can put a man on the moon, and that's what President Kennedy challenged America to accomplish when I was a boy, well, the next mission is to the mind.
Right.
Because that's the last uncharted territory on Earth, the minds of human beings. And this effort to find the cure is something that I think is going to increasingly be driven by the kinds of research that you are helping to foster.
That's true. And I would say our moonshot is the next stage we're about to enter into. We just completed the first ever whole genome sequencing of Alzheimer's disease ever done. We now have a wonderful database of basically all of the genes of Alzheimer's. And we're now moving into kind of the final stage, which is what we call genes to therapy. So we've identified 20 of the most important Alzheimer's genes. And gene by gene, we are now developing therapies to stop them from doing what they're doing. And so that's our next phase, and that should result in substantial therapies.
Well, that is fantastic. Research is medicine's field of dreams from which we harvest the findings that give hope to families that there will be a breakthrough. And what you're doing is putting together all of these clues through the mapping of the genetic code that will give us an opportunity to have the smartest people in America, in the world, then find that breakthrough that gives hopes to families all across the planet.
Yeah. Well, what we have done is we've developed what are called intervention points. Alzheimer's progresses in stages, and so there are various stages where you can intervene. So each of these points is where we're focusing on developing a therapy. And I think that will really make a difference for researchers around the world, because they will now know these intervention points. And our activities are now supported by over 20,000 families. Wow. Give you an idea of the number of people that are supporting what we're doing. So we're very excited. We're very excited.
Well, in the same way that we created a team to eradicate smallpox, to find the cure for polio, that's what you're doing right now.
Yep.
And you need it to be as broad and deep as is possible, and I just can't congratulate you and thank you enough for all of the work which you do.
Well, thank you very much for your support.
Thank you, sir.